we want to talk a little bit about the play, not just to you, the actor types, but also to our staff so that everybody knows what it is we're trying to accomplish this coming holiday season, so that we're all on the same page. It's sort of great to do Annie. It's a show I saw when I was a very young child, and it's one of those shows that I saw as a kid that really got me excited about the theater. So it wasn't just the show itself, it was, you know, I had a record, if anybody even knows what a record is. You know, when I played that little record out, to the point where my mother had to get me a second album, I listened to this so much. But the bottom line is that the show made me happy. It was like the Wizard of Oz to me. It took me to a different place. And what's sort of funny as an adult is looking at what Annie really is that different place is the Depression. And if you look at the nuts and bolts of Annie, it's a story about hope as it rises out of the Great Depression. The reason why the comic strip came into existence was to give people levity about something that isn't funny. You know, and today this story is just as valid as it was when it was originally conceived as a cartoon strip, let alone as a musical. It's sort of funny in the rewrites of this show that Miss Hannigan says something about Annie and says, oh yeah, next they'll do a musical about her. Well, they do, you know, because she embodies hope. That's what Annie's all about for me. It's hope. It's about being able to find the silver lining no matter what's going on. And the perfect example is when we're in Hooverville and everybody keeps trying to throw obstacles at her, she keeps finding a way to turn it around and make it lemonade. So that's our job. Our job is to be able to do this play in such a way, both visually and through the way that we stage it, the way we dance it, the way we sing it, that people that come to see this 8 shows a week come in feeling no hope and leaving looking for the hope in their lives. Because they will have come from a hard day's work, trying to do the thing that they do to put food on the table, and hopefully the message of this show and our production of it will make them so happy that they will find joy in their lives. There's not a lot technically to this show. We're doing it pretty simplistically. We've decided to just go big, splashy, and colorful when we can. So if you look at the Warbucks Mansion, this is sort of like the, quote, opulence that we're going to try to put in front of the folks. The orphanage and the areas before we get to Warbucks, so that we have a contrast between the two worlds, the worlds of, quote, reality, are down in the dark grays and the browns and the olive greens, whereas when we get to Warbucks, it's really alive with color and hustle and bustle and artwork and all of that good stuff. And the ginormous Christmas tree, which we talked about in the production meeting this morning. But even in the world of the real, we're not playing this play like Les Miserables. We are not trying to make even Hooverville seem like it's real. It is still heightened. This entire play is still heightened. We're not doing it as a cartoon. You know, there was discussion at one point about whether we wanted to line everybody's costumes with the black piping and sort of bring the cartoon to life. The play is a little bit more sophisticated than just the cartoon. So we're doing this as a musical theater piece. So there is a style behind all of this. We are pushing that envelope so that people can sing and dance and it's not out of the ordinary. Because, you know, if you're tragic and sitting around a stove kettle in the middle of the streets of New York and your life is so awful, you wouldn't suddenly break into a production number. But our people do. So we have rolling units and things that have color behind them so that we can help support that. For the most part, you know, really simply, we want to tell the story in a way that our audiences will get the deeper message, but still be entertained, to find the joy and to find the hope in all of this. So as we're marketing this, we are marketing it as a musical comedy. It is not a musical tragedy. And besides, it's got dogs and children. How can you possibly go wrong? For those of you that have ever done the show before, there are 2 scripts of Annie. We are doing the most recent revival script and the tour script. It was a surprise to me. I actually did a lot of my prep from the old script, and one day I was downstairs hanging out with the dial-in for Murder People, and Warbucks came over and said, "This new song, are we doing it?" And I thought he was just trying to pat his part. I was like, what? No, come on, ha, Jamie. He's like, "No, this one right here." I was like, "What script is that?" Ran upstairs, "What script are we doing?" I'm okay now, I've read the play. So we're doing the tour script, which actually makes it a little bit more relevant to our audiences. Some of the references have been changed. They've reordered some things which actually make the flow of the play better. But that's sort of it in a nutshell. Staff, thank you so much for being here. You can actually go back to your jobs. And Two types, you can go upstairs where our version of the first day of school will continue. Thank you so much.
So guys,